fully cooked. It should be hot or warm, both in temperature, and the spices that we use can actually warm up our food. It should contain as few ingredients as possible, and it should be rich in protein and fats. Hey everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Entering Motherhood, a podcast dedicated specifically to new moms going through this amazing journey in life. I'm your host, Sarah Bilger, a postpartum nutritional coach / mechanical engineer. And as always, I'm so excited to be here with you and share all of the information I've been lucky enough to obtain since becoming a mom. In this episode, I explain how you can begin to heal your postpartum body simply by being more aware of the type of food that you fuel your body with during this time. All right, mamas, and hello to yet another solo episode I have prepared for y'all today. I just recently passed my postpartum nutritional coach certification, and I am so excited to be sharing some helpful information I learned along the way. As more research is being done on this postpartum period, I truly feel that it is important to learn all that we can so that we can better understand what's going on with our bodies and heal them after the births of our children. Postpartum is not just the first 6 weeks after baby, nor is it a term only used for anxiety or depression. Postpartum can actually be defined as the first 6 years after baby and is honestly one of the most monumental, life-changing experiences that your body will ever experience. The main part of this healing process that I guide women through is to get moms feeling good and more comfortable in their postpartum bodies. This is not only beneficial to them, but their children, their families, and others who interact with them on a daily basis. During this time, our children are dependent on us. And if we are not taking care of ourselves, if we don't feel good in our own bodies, it's harder to care for them. Our partners are also experiencing changes during this time. And with divorce rates increasing during the first year after birth, it makes it vital to properly nourish our bodies so that we can be more aware and present with them. Partners, if you're listening to this, this is where you can help. Take part in meal planning and prepping. Give the mother of your child warm, nutrient-dense food. Help her heal and feel more supported during these moments. While it's best to take these practices into account soon after baby is born, I get that it may not be the case for some of you listening. I was right there in your same shoes after I had my first baby. I prepared so much for birth, but then I had no idea what to expect postpartum. Since then, I have learned all that I can about the hormonal changes and the physical happenings that occur to us. I've spent hours geeking out over all the things mama related, and I want nothing more than to be able to share this knowledge with you and help you along the journey of entering motherhood. A few things that can actually alter the healing process for us during this time is our health before the birth of our child, the length of labor that we experienced, the level of physical and emotional trauma, and our care that we receive during postpartum. That's why I started this podcast. That's why I absolutely love reaching out and hearing from all of you. If you haven't joined yet, we have a free Facebook group going on, and you can also follow me on Instagram to get more updates and tips. I'm so happy to announce that I'm now offering one-on-one coaching sessions as well as a 6-week postpartum group nutritional course. You can see the links to these pages and how to sign up on our website, enteringmotherhood.com. So with all that being said, let's jump into the good stuff and learn ways on how you can start healing your postpartum body with food. Because I'm sure, like most of you have heard, 80% of the work comes from eating the right food. But what food is the right food, right? Food is fuel. It's what allows us to properly function. It should nourish us, sustain us, and allow us to feel good in our bodies throughout the day. During the postpartum period, we need to focus on a few key things when it comes to what food we should eat. Our food should be fully cooked. It should be hot or warm, both in temperature, and the spices that we use can actually warm up our food. It should contain as few ingredients as possible, and it should be rich in protein and fats. When all these aspects are taken into account, you can expect to receive benefits such as physically healing faster, obtaining more energy, less mood disruptions, better hormone regulation, and your digestive health will return to normal faster. My own personal birth experience and what I was feeling postpartum was a huge driving factor as to why I wanted to understand more about how I was feeling and what was going on with my body. I wanted to heal myself so that I could learn how to heal others. Rest and nutrition have seriously been so key in the healing process for me. Listen, you are worthy of being nourished. You are worthy of feeling good in your body. We watch what our children consume, but sometimes we don't take that same appreciation for ourselves. When we heal and help ourselves, it results in being able to help others, right? We step into a whole other level of care when we're able to focus on ourselves. Food is allowing us to heal on a physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual path. I really want moms to understand this and fight for their own needs so that we can fully be aware of what's occurring around us and to us. It's not about weight loss. It's not about getting that pre-mom body back. It's about feeling good in your own body. Weight might be an additional side effect, but I truly want moms to feel whole and supported during this period. There's going to be other factors that contribute to why you may not be losing the weight. But the truth of it is that you are a new person. Our bodies have shifted into motherhood. Nutrition is certainly a portion of this, but sleep, stress, depression, and anxiety can also play a factor into why you may not be losing that weight. It's important to evaluate your current symptoms, such as hair loss, mood swings, postpartum bleeding, period pain. It's also good to start tracking what your current nutrition plan is and being more intentional with what you're actually consuming. There is absolutely no judgment in this stage. We all start somewhere. We're all on different paths, and it's better to be honest and fully understand the situation to get an idea of what you're consuming on a day-to-day basis. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, a good way to increase fat into the postpartum period is to add coconut oil or olive oil and get healthy fats. Even avocado can be really helpful. You can mix the oils in with vegetable broth and use it for soups and stews. If you have allergies or sensitivities, these can also play a huge factor into your healing process. Some women actually develop autoimmune diseases during the postpartum period, and now there are certain foods that they should avoid completely. And dairy and gluten are two of the top food items which can cause inflammation and irritate the gut initially after giving birth, and are something that are highly recommended not to consume for a period of time during postpartum. You can definitely incorporate these later on, and a way that you can tell if it is something that is beneficial or not for you is once you eliminate that item, then you can reintroduce it. And if you're having any sort of signs of inflammation or irritation, just prolong the period of how long you're eliminating that from your diet and wait until there is a time that you can consume those items again, or maybe it's better to cut them out from your personal consumption. And that's something that each individual is going to be able to determine on their own. We're all different. We all have different sensitivities and preferences. And I think that's huge in being able to determine the proper nutrition plan for you, and knowing yourself and knowing your body and knowing where that can fluctuate from person to person, and knowing that what you are consuming is allowed to look different than what others are consuming, and what works for one person might not work for you. And definitely in many situations, certain supplements and vitamins should be considered in healing a mom. And the top 6 vitamins to pay attention to during this time period are iron, magnesium, choline, vitamin D, and your omega-3s. Really being able to evaluate the quality of these vitamins that you're consuming are just as important as which vitamins they actually are. Also, each individual can react differently to brands and levels of each. Be sure to find products that worked for you and consult a doctor in order to determine which vitamins you may be needing and what you're deficient in before incorporating them into your nutrition plan. So there are obviously a lot of factors that go into consideration when dealing with healing in the postpartum period. And I have just absolutely loved gathering information around this and finding all that I can in order to heal myself and also heal others. So I love doing this stuff. I love gathering all this information and pulling this all together. And I really feel like having that one-on-one guided process to pull you through this time period, and also finding a community of people that are also doing this with you and for you is so beneficial. So making sure that you are able to properly let people around you know what your postpartum plan is going to look like is so crucial in order to create that environment of healing and resting and exactly what you need during that postpartum period. And I am here, to give you information that is going to lead you on a better path of healing, and give you information that you can use to guide you through a better journey in entering motherhood. And like I explained earlier, those 4 main things that you want to consider with your food is to make sure that it's fully cooked, it's warm, it is few ingredients as possible, and it's going to be rich in proteins and fats. So a lot of the items that I recommend to new moms is going to be your soups with a lot of vegetables in it, and also your proteins in there. If you have specific dietary restrictions, that is definitely something to consider and work around. But also cutting out, your gluten and dairy during that initial time frame is going to be crucial. Also, the fluids that you're consuming, make sure that you're drinking plenty of fluids. And also, if it's tea or water, try keeping it at least at room temperature or warmer, because that's going to be easier for your body to process that and allow it to do what it needs to do in the healing process. And then also, when weaning off of this postpartum period and going back into a regular nourishing regimen, it's important to be mindful and aware of how the food feels when you reintroduce something back into your diet, and start slow when reintroducing new items, and do this in a slow time period, maybe one thing at a time, a few days apart, And if something is not settling right, or if you're feeling any sort of reactions, then wait until your body feels better, and really just tapping into how you're feeling and how your body is reacting to food, and listen to what it's telling you and how it's feeling, because that can really help determine what foods are right for you. And like I had said before, we are all different. We are all going through different stages and phases, and we all react differently. So the main thing is finding what works best for you and going along that process, and having accountability and groups and support that are going to be cheering you on during that time period and allowing you to properly get through that period in the best way possible, I think is key. Ultimately, we want to heal during this time period, and we want and need to heal our bodies properly. So, just being able to take all these things into consideration and find ways to properly nourish our body is really what's going to allow that healing process to occur. And using food to do this, I think, is one of the most natural, holistic approaches that we can honestly do for ourselves. And so simple as just finding out what exactly we need to eat to be nourishing our bodies and healing our bodies during this time period. So that is just a big breakdown of what I have been learning and information that I have been obtaining since diving into all this, and how I have become certified in postpartum nutritional coaching. So if you are interested in, having one-on-one coaching with me, or even being a part of our group nutritional course for moms in the postpartum period, I'd love to hear from you and give you more information on that. So you can reach me on our website, or contact me on Instagram. If you're also interested in becoming certified as a postpartum nutritional coach, reach out to me too. I'd love to tell you about my experience and what I've done and how I did that, and share all that content with you. So I can definitely give you information on how you can get started on that process and be helping moms. There is so much information still coming out about this, and with rises in postpartum depression, anxiety, and other impacts that are occurring with women in the postpartum period, I am just eager to learn as more research is coming out, and how I can better help moms during this postpartum period, and help still continue to heal myself along the journey. So thanks for listening today. Well, this wraps up yet another episode of Entering Motherhood. I hope that you have found this episode helpful, and if you liked it, please share it with others who might also benefit from this information. If there's anything that you'd like to know more about, or maybe you know someone who'd like to be on the show, please visit my website, enteringmotherhood.com. I'm so thrilled to be going on this journey with you and getting the amazing opportunity to help moms during this postpartum experience.